Papa John sues Papa John's. The headline we've all been waiting for. Whatever you might think of uttering the forbidden word, the action of the company to oust Papa John from Papa John's was swift. Just maybe a week after an article came out claiming that Papa John spoke the word that should not be spoken, comments from much more popular personalities resurfaced that made the faux pas of saying a single word, even in a neutral context, seem outrageous. Associates of the famous people caught up in the controversy were vocal about how they did not support the current social media outrage. Trending yesterday were articles saying that the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy support James Gunn and want him back. You have to wonder if they would want him back if he spoke the word that should not be spoken.
Camera's rolling.
Let's see how funny it is when it's your daughter's
I should be broken in by me already.
I asked James once, please don't mention any.
It's comedy if we want to talk about graphic imagery involving children, but don't you dare ever say anything anyone could perceive as racist. These insane people actually think somebody making a single racially insensitive joke makes them an ethno-nationalist, but somebody talking about attending NAMBLA meetings with Lloyd Kaufman, that's just comedy. How absolutely dare you, sir, suggest otherwise? Would you perhaps like another example of the selective outrage that I'm talking about? Here is a man destroying Donald Trump's star in Hollywood as people film, and no one stops him or even calls the police. Instead, this deranged individual continues to vandalize property unencumbered by pesky things like laws. Right next to Donald Trump's star, none other than Kevin Spacey's star, untouched, possibly cleaned recently. After all, he chooses now to live his life swinging for the other team, and that incident with that underage boy, that was just comedy. Or wait, I'm getting my excuses mixed up. This isn't the first time people would assemble at Donald Trump's star to signal their virtue. Take a look.
That's what I'm talking about. Get your ass out of here, kid. That's what I'm talking about. I told your ass. Get your ass out of here. Hey, shoot Oh, shit. Get your ass out of here, bitch. I told you, didn't I tell you? 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 Oh, shut out, ass motherfucker. Ain't nobody
Liv, don't touch her. Don't touch her. Don't touch her. Let her be. Don't touch her. Don't touch her.
Didn't I tell you? Hey, wait.
Don't touch her.
Really, share this clip around. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Share it around. Remind everybody who these people actually are. If there's anything that's going to be effective for the midterms or any subsequent election, we need to remind these people exactly who they are. This is how they treat a homeless woman. A homeless woman of color, I might add.
Wait. Didn't I tell you about 5 minutes ago that somebody's gonna walk by here and no, I would not defend you because you spewed hate and you got hate. You got exactly what you were dishing out. I told you, I warned you on that, didn't I?
Donald Trump to save you now.
Don't lay there like she hurt. Hey, where's Donald at?
Let me call Donald Trump.
Hey, where's Donald at?
Donald Trump.
Where Trump at? Guess what? He still ain't here.
This is a bit of an older clip, but it is a prime example of how they actually are, these outrage mobs. This is who they actually are. This was a homeless woman that was just trying to protect the star, and because she wanted to protect something they wanted to destroy, well, you saw how they treated her. These are the people that were saying a while back, we can't be civil anymore. The time for civility is over. Well, I hate to break the news to you guys, but you have never been civil. Look at this clip. This was from before all of this Donald Trump ruined America stuff. This was back when Obama was in charge. This was in October of 2016. Obama's America. In this clip, we see a future doctor or brain surgeon getting a little bit heated with somebody who is very obviously just a a National Socialist.
So, what you gonna do? Get out of my We're deep in here. We're deep right here. Get out of my face. We're deep right here. Get out of my face. We're deep right here. Get out of my face.
It goes on for a little bit longer, but I think you get the idea. Hillary Clinton is back. Hillary Clinton is black. Just kidding, she's white, but she does feel guilty about it. Hillary gave another speech about how she lost the election. Big shocker, I'm sure. A quick reminder that she was promoted on every mainstream cable TV's news show, as well as all of the late-night TV shows. The tech companies also worked in her favor, attempting to push her into the White House, suppressing right-leaning voices on their platforms. There is even shadow banning now, which was going on back then, but now it's more mainstream. They claim they only shadow ban trolls. You can bet that the accounts that are left-leaning that exhibit the same behaviors will not be shadow banned. Despite all popular and influential industries working in her favor, she never stopped listing the very people who rallied for her as the reasons that she actually lost. Remember, any of those controversies she played a part in were all everyone else's fault. These things that she believes caused her to lose include the FBI, James Comey, the Russians, Putin, low information voters, everyone that assumed she'd win, which includes her, by the way, bad polling numbers that were in her favor, Obama for winning 2 terms, people wanting change, the New York Times, TV executives, cable news, Netflix, Democrats for not making the right documentaries, Facebook, Twitter, WikiLeaks, fake news, Macedonian content farmers, and also both the Republican and the Democratic parties. Most of the things she listed did everything they could for her, and it still wasn't enough. Here you can see her coming out to talk to her adoring fans at a festival called OzzyFest, not to be confused with Ozfest. She apparently forgot that she had an event to speak at, dressing in some sort of nightgown you would expect at an insane asylum. This event was filled to the brim with politicians and a few D-list celebrities that nobody cares about. Just, really, who wants to go to this? Who does this event appeal to other than the die-hard Hillary fans that want to see her? Is anybody really excited to see any of these people? They really aren't sending their best. Finally, we'll end with a bit of an amusing story. The Salt Left is so deranged, so easily manipulated into animus towards Donald Trump that they have started to call for their organs to be donated for the health and well-being of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsberg. Ginsberg said in an interview just the other day that she expects to work on the Supreme Court for at least 5 more years. This is an effort to outlast Donald Trump, as they're all getting a little nervous at this point. Can you imagine if Trump got a 3rd nominee? You saw their meltdown over Justice Kennedy retiring. Some people on cable news even called him a traitor. If something happened to Justice Ginsburg, the left would lose whatever was remaining of their minds. They already have lost everything else, having refused to move past the first stage of grief. I mean, I guess they're preparing to bargain. But this is mostly a joke anyway. You know, none of them have the gumption to actually donate their body for their signals of virtue on social media. If they did, I have to admit, it would make things quite amusing. Let's see how long they can keep disposing themselves to keep a woman who is 85 years old going. I mean, let's see how far we can take this. I think they've got a great thing going for them. They should run with it. Well, that'll be it for now. Here it is, your moment of clarity.
I asked James once, please don't mention.
What's your request, honey?
My request is that you not reference anything, especially of me, because my parents wouldn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
What about our home videos?
That's funny.
Why don't they like it?
Would you like it?
Okay, let's do it.
Camera's rolling.
But see how funny it is when it's your daughter's husband.
She'll be broken in by me already.